And our stock of the day today is EIQ. And Pro Medicus has signed a binding agreement with the artificial intelligence medical technology company. Under the arrangement, Pro Medicus will invest an initial 10 million Australian dollars in EIQ through secured convertible notes. There is also an option to invest a further $10 million if EIQ receives FDA clearance for its heart failure detection product. Pro Medicus will also become a reseller of EIQ's products to US healthcare customers. Now, RBC Capital has called it a strategically logical partnership, with initial analysis suggesting Visage and EchoSolve as complementary platforms, Visage serving as the imaging and workflow layer, and EchoSolve serving as the AI-driven diagnostic intelligence layer on top. A very impressive response from the market, Howard. Does it meet your filters?
No, EIQ certainly doesn't. It's been listed for 10 odd years. It never makes any money. It runs at a loss every year. The losses get bigger every year than the year before. So from a point of view of looking at it as a company, it's not a business really. It's an idea so far that will hopefully make money somewhere down the track. But the big change, of course, is Pro Medicus having put some money into it, and Pro Medicus having the marketing clout to actually market it. But if you're going to be investing, you're probably a lot smarter investing in Pro Medicus than you are in these various little things like 4DX and EIQ. It looks as though that's the direction Pro Medicus is going. The same as they didn't develop their own Visage software. They bought it many years ago, and they've done wonderfully well with it. I think we'll probably see Pro Medicus making other little acquisitions, or not acquisitions to start with, little investments that will turn into them owning a piece of the company, helping that company market, and probably long-term acquiring them, I would think. But I wouldn't invest in EIQ, because if it doesn't make it, you've lost all your money. Whereas if you invest in Pro Medicus, you're in a business that's a proven business already, and you get a piece of the upside in EIQ anyway. All
right, so there's a big avoid from you. If you had it and you saw that 35% jump today, what would you do?
Say thank you, Mr. Market. I'll have my money.
Sell. All right. David, what do you think about EIQ?
Yeah, so the strategic investment from Mercatus is obviously a major positive, and it validates the EIQ technology. It kind of turns a little bit more from a story to a little bit something more. The potential for Pro Medicus to become a reseller will give an EIQ that access to the large hospital network, etc., is obviously a good thing. The existing products continue to see strong growth in customer usage, and the big catalyst would be the FDA decision that would be likely around that might link it a little bit more. But I'd have to agree with Howard here. To me, that gap up is a little bit worrying, because it's gapped up and it's then stayed stagnant. So to me, there's different types of gaps. There's what's called a breakaway gap and an exhaustion gap. That to me looks like an exhaustion gap, which means that the market is actually using it for a catalyst to sell into. But we won't know, obviously, till more data comes in. But if that gap closes, then that is definitely a sign of an exhaustion gap, which means that it's probably the end of the trend and you're going to get a pretty decent retracement here. So I'd be really keeping an eye on that. And if that gap gets filled, then that is the market saying, thank you very much, I'm taking my profits on this news event.
So would you say then a sell as well?
I would say a sell, yeah.
All right, well, kicking it off with a double sell for the first stock of the day, which is EIQ there, and basically Howard saying not quite a business yet. Both my guests saying that they would have more interest here in Pro Medicus rather than EIQ, and looking for a catalyst as well into when you might buy in would be the FDA decision, according to David. But looking at the technicals, he says that gap up is quite worrying and could be the end of a trend. So a sell there for EIQ.